Alright, good morning everyone. We are here at the gym in South Australia called West Central. They are one of the only gyms to have a altitude room. We're going to be running at about 15.5% oxygen. Equates to about 9,000 feet. It's going to be good. We're going to have a good run session. We're going to get a sweat on. It's going to be hard to breathe. Ultimately great for your cardiovascular fitness, lung strength, cardio strength, all around such an awesome piece of technology that is here in South Australia. So let's get to it. All right, we're in the chamber. It's pretty small, pretty snug. It's already pretty hard to breathe in here and haven't even started running yet. But we're in for a good time. The session we're going to do today is a 10-minute warm-up, easy jogging. We'll watch the heart rate to see what that pace is. I'm not going to say what pace it is because I'm not sure I'll be feeling. Then we'll go into a few 3-minute ons and 90-second off, so a minute half. Ons, once again, we dependent on how my heart rate goes, how high it gets. We're looking at about 8 of those, 8 by 3 minutes, with 90 seconds easy jogging in between. So let's see how this goes. All right, so just on the warm up, I just did a 10-minute warm up. My pace was about 4:38, 39. So I did 10 minutes, about 4:38 first K, 4:31 for the next K. I just built it up, so it was 12.5 on the treadmill, building up to 13. My heart rate got quite high actually. Got from, my heart rate probably around there would have been normally on the road or in sort of normal oxygen levels around about that sort of mid 120s, high 120s. Then it was about early 140s. So jumping into that next barrier of sort of that moderate zone, so zone 3. Definitely shouldn't have been there. Probably could have dialed it back a bit. So that was fun. One thing I want to go over, which I'll go through after I do the first interval and first recovery, I'm going to talk about run form. All right. So we're going to get to the first effort now, and yeah, see you in a sec. First effort done, and first recovery. That was surprisingly quite difficult. Running at level 17, I think it's about 310. I think 310 pace. I have to check for a second. Definitely harder than normal. So good though. So I guess for the first 90 seconds to 2 minutes, felt kind of good. After that sort of 2-minute period, it got harder and harder to breathe. My heart rate started going up a bit higher. I actually didn't check because I wasn't focusing. I was actually trying to focus on my breathing. But right now, it's sitting at 136. I'll live with the data, but it might be around about that, maybe high 150s I would have thought, gauging by how I was feeling. One thing I want to take note is one of my old coaches, who was an awesome run coach, was also good running biomechanist, told me a few little tips to improve your run form. And most injuries come from poor running form. So one thing I just want to quickly go over is how to have some better run form. Everyone's different, but for the majority of runners or people that want to run, this is some pretty good advice to take on board and implement it into your running. Not only will you run with more efficiency, but you'll have a lot of injury prevention, more so than others. And you'll just get stronger, quicker, fitter. You'll be able to run for longer. All the good stuff. Right, so what I want you to focus on are 3 main things, 3 little things. The first thing is having your both arms, almost on pretty much a 90-degree angle. and you want your arms swing. So obviously when you're running, you're swinging your arms. I want you to focus on running from your shoulder and your elbow. So driving your elbow back from your shoulder and back up in front of you, like a pendulum, like that. Don't move your chest. This all stays still. This all stays nice and still, and you're running from your arm. You don't need to run from your chest because that's just exerting energy that you obviously need for running. So when you're running, just try to focus, running like your arms are on a pendulum. A good little word tracks is socket to pocket. So your hands to the socket of your shoulder, putting it in your pocket. Socket to pocket, socket to pocket, socket to pocket. They're the two things. The first thing, keeping your core stable. A lot of people have a tendency to run from their stomach and they're sort of driving forward every time they run, which is fine in some cases, but for long distance runners or people wanting to run with more efficiency, you want to run from your hips. So when you're running, you want to effectively run from here. So you'll see me, you won't notice my hips move at all. Well, very minimal, they'll be quite stationary. So when you're running, everything is moving together and you should be focused on just keeping this midsection nice and still. Not tensing it, but just relaxing it and keeping it still. So, socket to pocket, arm swing, and that's a good little workout, good little exercise before you start running. Just focus on that, loosen up the shoulders, right? And if you start to feel a bit of tension, it means you're carrying too much stress, and then relax. Just relax a little bit more. All right, enough jibber jabber, let's get back into the session. Run session done. That was very hard. I wasn't actually expecting it to be as hard as that. I suppose because I haven't really done much altitude training in a while other than just at home. Ended up dropping the pace down from level 17 on the treadmill down to 15.5 on the last three efforts. A gradual 16 to 15.5 on the last two efforts. My heart rate just started getting super high, like into the 170s, which was not the whole, I guess, the aim of it. But I wanted to keep it calculated, and unfortunately that wasn't calculated for me. I just didn't know what to expect. So, all in all, sensational session. I feel cooked. And that's obviously just oxygen depletion in the brain, feeling a bit lightheaded, a bit fuzzy. Now this isn't something for potentially newer runners. I mean, yes, but probably not as aggressive as I've had the oxygen setting. Start with a bit higher, so you obviously getting a bit more oxygen in, or alternatively, go straight to the top, but then just take it easy. I'm not condoning anything, so don't sue me if you have a heart attack or faint. Super awesome session. So I guess just a little recap on that session, now that I'm collected myself. So it was about a 10-minute warm-up, easy warm-up, into 8 by 3 minutes on. For me, ended up being in about zone 5. Doesn't have to be zone 5, but hey, yep, we'll keep it at that, with 90-second easy jog recovery with about a 10-minute cooldown warm-up. That's a great session, all-round session really. Specifically, if you are wanting to better your 10K or half marathon distance, probably more lean towards that half marathon distance. I'm stoked I had that elevation training. That is such a good thing for someone who really wants to better their top end fitness. But all good. I will see you on the next one.